to give them some love on the air. They won the semifinal game, on to play the championship at 1 o'clock. So we'll give you the Ron Yance basketball team update. Good luck to Ron and his daughters out in Avon Lake here this afternoon.
Yeah, big win for the Shore Gals.
41-26. Case with the ball first here to start the second half. In an effort to cut into this Emory lead. It is the largest of the game for the Eagles, who are hopeful they can return home. I think they're pretty sick of snow down in Atlanta.
Well, it's not like they got much of a break wherever they went this week.
Thompson working in the low post. The big man with a right-handed hook doesn't go.
You know, you look at the Case roster, you see a kid like Javi Alvarez from Miami, Florida. He's probably thinking to himself at this point, when is it going to stop?
Treywick,
you're paying Javi.
Treywick with the first bucket of the second half, and it builds that lead out to 17. I asked Michael Florin before the game about that exact weather problem they're having, and he just kind of laughed and he said, "We're ready for it to be done." McLaughlin with the jumper, and it rolls all the way around and through.
Interesting situation developed this week with the weather. It's another bucket there for Emory. The UAA Swimming and Diving Championship was actually scheduled to be held down in Emory from Wednesday through Saturday, and Mother Nature certainly intervened with the weather down in Atlanta, as well as travel issues from all the schools in the UAA. So Case Western Reserve actually served as a satellite location.
Yeah, kind of a split meet.
So the two teams we have duking it out on the floor here today are the two schools that are hosting the respective UAA championship meets, and not the kind of start here, though, that the Spartans wanted to get off to.
Spartans struggling here to start the second half. They trail by 19. We'll be back.
Intercontinental Suites has been transformed into much more than a hotel. It is a center of wellness and tranquility, featuring renovated suites, an expanded fitness center, and pure rooms for guests requiring the most allergen-resistant rooms on the market. C2, our Mediterranean-style restaurant and bar, accentuates the ambiance of relaxation and rejuvenation. Chef Omar Jones has designed a menu full of fresh, locally grown herbs and vegetables, along with a flavorful cuisine inspired by the beneficial Mediterranean diet. Call the Intercontinental today at 216-707-4300 or visit us at hotelsclevelandclinic.com or on Facebook.
This year, Qdoba will cater like 10,000 parties.
Where? When? I'm there.
Well, these parties are hypothetical. I was just talking about Qdoba catering. Hot taco bars with fire-grilled chicken and marinated steak, flour tortillas and taco shells. You'll also get their hand-smashed guacamole, cheese, sour cream, lettuce, and salsa. They'll deliver to your home or office, and they'll even set it up.
Can I bring a guest?
Oh, boy. Visit Qdoba.com today for more information about Qdoba catering. Qdoba Mexican Grill. More to explore.
Back at Horsburgh Gymnasium, you see some of the Emory faithful here. Nice contingent of parents and friends that made the trip from Atlanta to Cleveland this weekend. With a little stop in Pennsylvania along the way.
Well, they probably never thought they'd be going to Cleveland to try to find some better weather.
For warmer weather. Case going the other direction this half, as always, now from left to right across your computer screen. 2 minutes gone in the second half, and the Spartans need to put something together. This is Holman with a basketball. Working against the man look. Chung looking for his first three. Got it.
There it is. Tim Chung 0 for 4 in that first half. That's his first tray, and Tim is a guy that can really carry a team when he gets on one of his shooting streaks, and certainly the Spartans are going to need that right now.
Emory out to a comfortable lead, but one of the best scoring offenses in the country, always looking to attack, and this time they do it from the outside, but to no avail off the hands of Alex Foster.
Good one and done there for the Spartans.
Holman looking for an opening. He was effective in the first half, dishing the ball off. McLaughlin tried to put up another triple, and he just misfired.
You can sense a little bit of energy coming from the Spartans right now. They've been a second half team all season.
Michael Florin immediately puts some of that life to rest. That was kind of the problem late in the first half. Every time Case did something to get excited about, Emory pretty quickly answered.
Well, that's what good teams will do to you, is the Spartans are going to turn it over again.
You know, Connor Adell, in an attempt to break his fall, fouled Jake Davis. Easy call there as Adell picks up his first personal. First foul of the second half. Foster leaves, and replacing him is 6'1" junior guard Josh Shaddy from Jupiter, Florida. I'd have to look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head, Nick. I'm disappointed, but there is definitely a spring training team in Jupiter, Florida, with the thought of warmer weather.
Well, you'd be asking me to guess at that too. One thing when I hear Jupiter, Florida, though, I think of recent graduate from Case Western Reserve, the Spartan pitching great Jared Gish, who was a Jupiter, Florida native, graduated from Suncoast, had an All-American season for the Spartan baseball team, and unfortunately, as I'm saying here talking, another easy bucket there for Josh Shaddy.
Yeah, unfortunate mal-timed turnover for Tim Chung. Case got it across in time, but good pressure from the Eagles, who just aren't letting up. Though David Thompson on the floor right now, a bit of a smaller unit for the Spartans, who certainly missed Julian Person, but it's not Spencer Boyd's fault. Man, is he playing well today. And Holman had it stripped through the lane, and he just sort of shakes his head in frustration. Nothing he could have done about that. Good positioning and finish. Josh Shaddy goes to work in that low post, and you said it in the early part of the game. If Case wanted to be successful, they had to do their best to slow down the Emory transition offense. That's one way to do it. Tim Chung can get back on defense quickly after that three-pointer.
Second straight made three for Tim, and Spartans really need a stop here. They're down 19. And they got it. That's how you get back in a game like this. Emory's going to go down and fire shots. You got to be good on the glass. You got to take advantage of your opportunities at the other side.
That's a great pass by Holman to even find McLaughlin, and Holman overcommitted himself there on defense and picks up his second personal foul. By the way, our officials today, we didn't give them any love in the first half. Michael Griffith, Don Reese, Mark Naslona. Will Trewick coming back in the ballgame for Emory.
These guys are officials today, doing their best as all officials do. They probably will be the only officiating crew in history that will have teed up Dane McLaughlin in his career.
I wonder how Dane feels about that.
Dane probably let it get away at this point. And, he's focused on trying to hit some shots here in the second half.
Austin DeGue, the 6'9" freshman from St. Louis, goes over the back. If he can develop, my goodness, will he be a nice piece for the Emory Eagles in years to come. Holman and McLaughlin bringing it up the floor. Well, when Case is dealing with that press break, if they can break it quickly, they usually have a mismatch in the front court. But Emory, last couple times that they've had their press broken, they've played good enough defense to avoid Case scoring quickly.
Well, they're doing a very good job of keeping the Spartans out of the paint right now, keeping guys like Connor Edel and David Thompson from doing damage down low.
Florin kicks out. This is a three-pointer from Davis Rao, and it missed. Rao going to look at it again, and the second time doesn't go any better. Case has 16 turnovers. They've only forced 3 through the first 25 minutes of this game. Stagnant offensively right now as the Spartans try to make something happen. Here's McLaughlin. He needs it, and he got it.
Usually when you get the ball in Dane McLaughlin's hands, something will happen, and it did there. The soft touch by the lefty.
A couple of Spartans back at the scorer's table. And a foul, I believe, on Connor Edel as he raised that left knee up and prevented Austin DeGue from spinning around him. Second on Connor. Spencer Boyd, Jimmy Holman come out. They put a much bigger unit on the floor. Thompson, Edel, McLaughlin, Clark, and Chung. Off the inbound, Emory working on that baseline. Here's the right side, Trewick. Saw the opening he wanted, attacked, but he didn't put it in as Thompson picks up his second personal.
Rough day so far for David. He's certainly had to work on the offensive side to get looks at the basket, and he's doing his best to keep up with this Emory pace. It's just not a good matchup for this Spartan team.
Yeah, truthfully, it's been a bit of a befuddling day for just about everybody donning the white and blue.
That's a $10 word, isn't it? Befuddling.
No extra points from this corner, though. Well, that turned almost into a three-point possession. Thankfully for Case, just one. Chung, another three-pointer just to the left. Had good distance. That one stays with the Spartans. Florin checks out. Emory's not quite as athletic as I expected, but they're very deep. They've got a lot of guys that are very talented, that's for sure. You almost try to figure out how they're 6-4 in conference play.
It's a tough conference.
Clark trying to capitalize. He's fouled on the way up, but he doesn't get the basket to go. Losses this season for Emory in conference to Carnegie Mellon, Chicago, Wash U, and Wash U. And the first go-around against Wash U was a really close game at 77-60, a 9-point loss to Chicago. They just dropped last Sunday, a week ago, at Wash U. They lost by 14 points as Clark hits the first. And the Carnegie Mellon loss is kind of the head-scratcher of them all, a 12-point defeat. McPherson Moore back.
Do you think Coach Sean McDonald maybe put in a call to Coach Edwards down at Wash U and said, how in the world did you hold these guys to 66 points?
Pretty incredible. Some fans distracting themselves with other things in the stands. Food always does that to you.
It certainly does it for me. That's no secret around these parts.
About 13 minutes left in the second half of the final home game of the year for the Spartans, who look like they're going with a slightly different defensive look. More of a 2-3 zone at this point. Nice roll. McPherson Moore. 2 more points. It's 56-39.
Noticed McPherson has a interesting approach when he goes up for the ball. He seems to like to throw the tongue out a little bit like Michael Jordan.
Another Case turnover, and Emory driving to the basket. That's Jake Davis, and he'll finish. 2 more points off turnovers for Emory. So not only have they forced now 18 turnovers, but they've capitalized far more often than not against the Case mistakes. Frustration ensuing for the Spartans and some serious pushing after the whistle.
Look like both players there. Connor Adele for Case. And
well, cooler heads prevail after a little bit of extracurricular activity.
yeah, and Max Davis there for Emory. It looks like players got their arms locked and both were trying to roll the opposite way and neither one to let go. But I don't think it's because they like each other.
Well, both teams obviously having seasons that have gone fairly well, but maybe a little bit disappointing in the fact that there were higher hopes for both teams. Case 13-8 on the year, Emory 14-7. Both teams are either at 500 or one game above 500 in conference as Thompson turns this one over, and Moore is fouled by Connor Adele. Adele fouled him cleanly and did his job. If you're going to foul him, don't let him score. And that was the case. Adele picks up his 3rd. That's the 5th foul against the Spartans this half. 58-39, 12-10 left. Adele only has 2 points in the ball game. McLaughlin the leading scorer for Case with 15. And McPherson Moore continues his strong day. Moore with 1 more. He got it.
Well, Spartans have probably seen all they want to see of Moore this year. 31 points the last time these two got together down in Atlanta. He was 7 of 10 from beyond the 3-point line in that game.
Thompson with a nice finish after Matt Clark did not panic. And the strong, tight face guarding well beyond the 3-point perimeter. Emory swings it around, and now they've got their opening. Man, you just shake your head if you're Coach McDonald right now. This time Austin DeGue, the 6'9 freshman, hits a triple. Only 3 of 11 for threes for Emory. The other 2 were hit by McPherson in the first half, but the Eagles have hit 54% of their shots as McLaughlin scampers for the rebound. Now he'll raise, and he hits it. Dane McLaughlin with extra effort on that possession. Turns into 3 points. It's 63-44.
Good job by the Spartans working the offensive glass there, getting themselves a second opportunity.
Thompson with good defense, forces a miss. One possession at a time if you're Sparty. They trail it by 19 with 11 minutes left.
Well, you're absolutely right about that. The last time I checked, there were no 19-point plays in the game of basketball.
Connor Adell was fouled. He tried to finish the play. There was a foul in the high post. And it's going to be whistled against Max Davis, who, despite his 6-foot stature compared to the 6'9" stature, 220 pounds of Connor Adell, Max Davis is giving Connor Adell all he can handle right now. They are really going at it.
If you look at it, Max Davis at 6 foot, like you said, and Connor Adell at 6'9". They've gotten to know each other very well today, though, in the post, which you would not expect with guys with those size differentials.
Holman to inbound. Clark, Boyd, McLaughlin, and Thompson on the floor for the Spartans along with Holman. Inbounds pass is lobbed into the middle, and Dane McLaughlin lays it in. Florin brings it up the floor after Shaddy inbounded it. Into the low post, Jake Davis works on Thompson, and the hook shot goes.
Just a nice touch there by Davis, going up over a much bigger David Thompson, and head coach Sean McDonald not pleased with the happenings there after the basket.
No, things are getting a little chippy here. Let's see if two teams can calm down. It's unfortunately not really a close game. Matt Clark lays it over the right side of the rim. That just goes to show these Spartans play with a lot of heart no matter what the score is. McPherson Moore with the turnaround, and from fairly close he didn't get it to go. David Thompson clears it. Half of the second half in the books, and the first half of it did not go the way the Spartans had anticipated. They trailed at the break by 15 points. And here in the second half, they continue to struggle. Matt Clark with a nice strong move. He'll go to the line.
Physical play continues on that one. Well, it's a situation now with just under 10 minutes left. The Spartans just have to try to win the next couple of minutes. And if you can shave a few points off of this deficit, you get around the 5-minute mark, and you see what happens from there. But you got to win these next few minutes and keep it close.
You know, not hitting your free throws is not going to help your cause, and unfortunately for Case, they've hit 2 of 4 from the free throw line, entering that last free throw, so now 2 of 5.
With the amount of physical play here today, it's surprising to see that the Spartans have only been at the line now 6 times, and as Matt Clark misses his second, Case now just 33% from the charity stripe today.
42 of the 65 Emory points have come in the paint. They have scored 28 points off of 19 Case turnovers. By comparison, Case has 2 points off Emory's 4 turnovers. And another bucket, give the Eagles 2 more, and it's back to 19.
One of the few areas the Spartans have been able to limit the Eagles today is in those second chance points, only 4 for Emory and 9 for the men in white.
A lot of that has to do with Case's, I don't want to call it dominance, but fairly good play on the glass. They're +7 in the rebounding margin. Thompson with a hook shot from the high post. That one's probably a little further out than he's used to putting it up with the hook. Florin dishes it off at the last second. That's just a mature, smart play, not going up by himself when the big man Thompson was going to try to go up and swat it. Emory comfortably ahead of Case here in Case's final home game of the season, 69-48. We'll be back.
Cleveland Marriott Downtown at Key Center offers the versatility and reliability to meet your unique travel and meeting needs. From smart spaces to practical amenities to world-class service, our flagship hotel will deliver the quality experience you expect, backed by the Marriott name you trust. At Cleveland Marriott, we have one goal: to serve you better. Book your special Case Western Reserve rate by visiting us at clevelandmarriottdowntown.com and entering promotional code C0N. We're
under the 9-minute mark, and the Emory Eagles, with a 21-point lead over your Case Spartans. Brendan Gulick, Nick Minard with you here on a Sunday afternoon. It's still a little weird, Nick, to have a football-less Sunday. I've had 2 of those now.
Well, I never could get used to that, but like you said earlier, before you know it, the fall will be here, and you know I won't be brokenhearted when that does occur.
And not till the Bills start the season anyways. Matt Clark into the low post, David Thompson with it.
Well, that's the beauty about the NFL, though, is the Spartans going to turn it over again.
That will be their 20th turnover of the game.
Ooh. And with the exception of really this month, the NFL season never really stops. You have the combine, leads into free agency, that leads into the draft. So the season never really comes to a complete stop, and that keeps fans like myself appeased, if you will.
Thompson, after the feed from Spencer Boyd, makes it a 69-50 game. Nobody found anybody open in the left corner. And an offensive rebound after the McPherson-Moore misfire. Moore is just a scorer. That kid just wants to play. And he just kind of outmanned Jimmy Holman on that one.
Jimmy, there's only so much you could do when a guy can leave his feet, spin in midair, and put a shot in like that. It wasn't bad defense at all. That's just a great player making a great play.
Senior Tim Chung back on the floor. Well, this final home game of Timmy Chung's career and David Thompson's career is not going as planned. You can guarantee that toward the end of the game, whenever they are removed from the floor, they will get a standing ovation here at Horsburgh Gymnasium for 2 outstanding careers.
Oh, deservedly so.
Chung for 3, he missed.
Tim Chung, one of the most prolific three-point shooters in school history, and David Thompson, definitely one of the best post players that's ever wore the white and the blue. And these 2 guys have really contributed to a nice little turnaround for this team, coming in to today, 13-8. They've already clinched the first winning season since 2009, 2010, and there were quite a few years that passed prior to that before there was a winning season as well.
Holman and Foster trading threes at possession by Emory. Their last time up the floor was beautiful ball rotation, and then Foster finished it off. Here's Foster again, and he was fouled pretty hard by David Thompson. 3rd on David. Check that, Spencer Boyd picks up the foul, not Thompson, who I thought was hanging on his arm as he went to the floor, but okay.
Did Drew DeRozier just correct you on that?
I just wouldn't give him credit for it. Under 7 minutes to go, 75-53. Foster from the stripe, here's another one. It's in. All Eagles here today. Case has played so well this season on their home floor, 10-2. But somebody forgot to pass that memo to Emory.
Well, like I said, it is very difficult to win on the road in this conference, especially on Sunday, but Emory has had no problem doing it here at Horsburgh Gymnasium the last few years. We looked at the score the last time the Eagles were here on a Sunday, and that was 101-75.
There's a jumper and a bucket. Michael Florin continues his nice day. He's got a dozen. Emory has beaten Case 7 straight times. The Spartans have not beaten Emory at all, home or away, since 2010.
Yeah, this will be my 4th full season here in University Circle, and I have not seen the men's team.
Here's Jake Davis.
Knock off Emory.
And Case wants a timeout. Frustration setting in for the Spartans, who trail by 27 as we near the end of regulation. We'll return after this.
Intercontinental Suites has been transformed into much more than a hotel. It is a center of wellness and tranquility, featuring renovated suites, an expanded fitness center, and pure rooms for guests requiring the most allergen-resistant rooms on the market. C2, our Mediterranean-style restaurant and bar, accentuates the ambiance of relaxation and rejuvenation. Chef Omar Jones has designed a menu full of fresh, locally grown herbs and vegetables, along with a flavorful cuisine inspired by the beneficial Mediterranean diet. Call the Intercontinental today at 216-707-4800. 888-300 or visit us at hotelsclevelandclinic.com or on Facebook.
This year, Qdoba will cater like 10,000 parties.
Where? When? I'm there.
Well, these parties are hypothetical. I was just talking about Qdoba catering. Hot taco bars with fire-grilled chicken and marinated steak, flour tortillas and taco shells. You'll also get their hand-smashed guacamole, cheese, sour cream, lettuce, and salsa. They'll deliver to your home or office, and they'll even set it up.
Can I bring a guest?
Oh, boy. Visit Qdoba.com today for more information about Qdoba catering. Qdoba Mexican Grill. More to explore.
There's plenty of different storylines as this game has played out, but I think the most important for the Emory Eagles, who lead it by 27 points with 6:09 left, is that they are balanced offensively with 5 guys in double figures led by McPherson Moore's 20-point effort, and they have pressured Case all day long. The Spartans have turned it over 21 times, and 30 points have been scored for Emory off those turnovers. Emory with just 4 turnovers on the game. That has led to just 2 points for Case.
Spartans also being outscored 50-24 in the paint. That is something they are definitely not used to with the size advantage that they usually have on teams.
Triple on the right side of the floor, missed darn near everything, and a missile thrown off the leg of Tim Chung out of bounds.
What a heads-up play there, though, by Treywick.
Playing it all the way to the finish. Well, with only 2 seniors on this team, there's plenty of reason to hope that the Spartans will have another good season a year from now. You just mentioned a little bit earlier, this is the first winning season in a couple of years for the Spartans. And a block by Thompson underneath. That's one thing they're going to have a tough time replacing.
Yeah, I think so. But this is a team now, I think, a program that's positioned to just continue to improve. And I think next year you may see a little different style of play. I think Jimmy Holman is going to be a real focus for this squad next year.
That 3-point shot was missed, and Thompson skying for the rebound after Davis Rao was a little bit off.
You remember, you know, if you're looking at post players, the team has been without Brian Clements for most of the year.
Chung hits another 3. And finally a smile on the face of Tim Chung, and one on the face of his father sitting across the way from us as well, watching his son playing his final collegiate home game.
Third 3-pointer of the half for Tim. Remember, I said it at halftime, he was 0 for 4, that he is a very streaky shooter.
80-56 with less than 5 minutes to go. It has been all Emory all day since Case last had the lead at 18-16. They called a timeout with about 7 minutes left in the first half, trailing 26-20. They trailed at the intermission 41-26. Chung another 3, that one missed. McLaughlin with a putback. Dane McLaughlin never giving up.
That almost looked like a pass to me.
Wonder if Drew Drozers will give him the assist. Just a little off. Holman tugs at the left side of his jersey, bounces it into the post. Thompson kicks it out of bounds. Frustration is beginning to turn into disappointment for the Spartans, who realize now that this 22-point deficit with 4:17 left might be a little too steep.
Well, they have to continue to play this out, though. Play till that last whistle, till the last buzzer. And remember, there's still 3 games left in the season, and this team can certainly still add a few wins to the win total for this year and put themselves in good position going into the offseason.
Well, they've got a very tough game against the number 4 ranked Washington University Bears in St. Louis next Friday night. And we'll go to Chicago on Saturday and finish the season at Carnegie Mellon on Saturday, March 1st.
Very unusual for the Spartans this year to wrap up the season with 3 straight on the road. Hasn't happened, certainly in my time here, in my 4 years. This will be the first time it's happened.
Spencer Boyd bringing it up the floor. Here's Timmy Chung. Good feed. Thompson slams it down.
Little authority on that for Thompson. I think a little frustration taking it out there on the rim for the big fella.
Open 3 at the top of the arc for Mr. DeGue, and he was a little bit short. There is not much that Emory has done wrong today, and that is certainly reflected in the score. 16 steals. For a team that doesn't even steal a lot of balls, they only average 8.5 steals per game. A three-pointer in the corner missed.
They haven't exactly lit it up from beyond the arc, but you know, when you're getting these types of looks in the paint.
I was going to say they've hit 50% of their shots, so they have been able to afford that poor outside shooting.
Well, you said, you know, they haven't really done anything wrong. I'm reaching at this point to try to find something for them.
2:37 left. We'll give it to you when we come back.
Cleveland Marriott Downtown at Key Center offers the versatility and reliability to meet your unique travel and meeting needs. From smart spaces to practical amenities to world-class service, our flagship hotel will deliver the quality experience you expect, backed by the Marriott name you trust. At Cleveland Marriott, we have one goal: to serve you better. Book your special Case Western Reserve rate by visiting us at clevelandmarriottdowntown.com and entering promotional code C0N.
Thanks so much for joining us here this afternoon. Unfortunately, a disappointing day for the Case Spartans, but our broadcast is only half over in about 2:37, and that we've got the women's game coming up for you here at 2 o'clock. The Case women also wrapping up their home portion of the schedule, and for the Case women, they will celebrate their senior day today. Even though this is the final home game for the Spartans, they had their senior night on Friday night. The women's team here for Case celebrated Play for K night and raising some money for the Play for K Fund, which is the charity of choice for the UAA women's coaches. So they'll have their senior day here a little bit later on. 3 girls in their final home game here for Case. We'll bring that one to you 20 minutes after this one concludes. It's all Emory, and they'll add to the lead here with a layup from Austin DeGue, who's come off the bench to have a nice day.
Mac Hartman in the ball game for the Spartans, the freshman out of New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. 6'6", 230.
Clark looking for Hartman in the post. He's being denied by DeGue. Hartman with a drop step. He was held before the shot went up. 2 minutes left.
Boy, as a sports information director, I really hope Mac Hartman turns out to have a nice career here. I already could see the notes I could put together. You know, Mac attack.
Those are the thrills of the job. 2 minutes to go. Hartman occupying that low right block. Adele tried to feed it to him, and it was poked loose by Jonathan Terry, another freshman, as both teams empty their benches here. Javi Alvarez back for the first time here this weekend. We did not see him the other day.
Yeah, the fiery guard from Coral Gables, Florida, product of Belaine Jesuit Preparatory School. Played quite a bit early on in the season.
Three-pointer from the left side, off the back of the iron for Jim Gordon, freshman for the Eagles. Minute and a half left here this season. Tim Chung and David Thompson are on the bench for the Spartans. Hartman fouled in the low post. They're going to count the basket.
Sort of a mock cheer from the Spartan bench there, and head coach Sean McDonald just kind of looked over at me and gave me one of those looks like, yeah, all right.
We'll take it. That was your first glimpse of the Mac attack, Nick.
You got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. We'll see exactly how things have played out. Here's Case empties its bench. Cody Zimmerman, Michael Lewinson, and Ogun Bees will check in.
It's actually pronounced Owen.
Owen Bees, I apologize. 1:17 left in the second half. Not sure exactly
Looks like
who the technical foul was assessed on, but a technical foul. Okay, it was a book technical foul. Thanks for the clarification. Evan Coleman from Emory, the sophomore guard, was not in the scoring book. So a technically on Emory's bench.
So do we technically give an assist on that foul to Otto Pennica? That's the question.
Javi Alvarez does what he's supposed to do. Knocks home a couple free throws, and now Hartman has one free throw coming. There's a look at the two families of our two seniors, Tim Chung and David Thompson. And they are here for the final time as substitutions will come in.
Good chance for a few minutes of playing time here for some of the younger Spartans. Cody Zimmerman, 6'10", 220 center out of Des Plaines, Illinois. And then, like you mentioned, Michael Lowenson also in the game, Dallas, Texas native, stands 5'11", 180. And Mr. Owen Bees, who has seen some time in certain spots this year. He's from Poland, Ohio, 5'9", 170 guard.
Emory going to close it out here. On the offensive side, this is Jim Gordon, blocked at the rim. Zimmerman with the swat, and he hustles back on offense with less than a minute to go. Javi Alvarez controlling for the Spartans.
I guess that's one of the advantages of being 6'10".
A foul in the low post, and I believe a technical foul was just called again.
That's our third tech.
Emory foul was whistled against Jim Gordon, and then a technical foul was also whistled against Jim Gordon. Hey, at this rate, Case is going to be able to shoot enough free throws they can get back in this game. Hey.
Going to put Owen Bees at the line here.
At the line. 47.8, and
nice.
Brings the crowd to life a little bit. Owen Bees can't hit the first, but with a smile anyways. One more coming. Got that one. It's probably the loudest we've heard the crowd in about an hour.
It's a nice little moment there. The Bees family, it sounds like, behind us, giving a nice cheer to the youngster out of the Youngstown area. Of course, I'm a big fan of his, being from that area myself.
Zimmerman a little bit off on that free throw. Shot clock still on, about a 12-second difference. Emory will have to at least shoot it. Evan Coleman will hold the basketball as he works between the circles.
There was a lot of pressure on the young man going to the line there and having basically the entire place rise up to hope you hit a free throw. That's a lot of pressure.
And he did it with a smile, which certainly must be what Sean McDonald likes to see. 10 on the shot clock as we near the end of the ball game. Emory going to improve to 15-7 on the season. This is Austin DeGue, blocked by Zimmerman, but a foul on the play. DeGue had no choice but to go to the rim with just one left on the shot clock. Zimmerman with a vicious swat, but a body check as well.
The big man announcing his presence in the game today.
As DeGue heads to the free throw line, the first one is up and nothing but net. DeGue, not a particularly good free throw shooter, 64.5% on the season, but as a team, Emory is golden. Lane violation. Somebody from the Spartan bench yelled, "Can't do that, Cody."
You gotta love the spirit of the Spartans here today.
Lighthearted bunch. Alvarez gives it up top. This is Lewinson. He misses to the right.
This place would have exploded had that three-pointer went down.
That will be the final shot of the home portion of the season for the Spartans. 84-68 the final.